I was
Good
allergic
luck
to
on that one.
this thing last week. This one. Go. So it might be better if I download them, is my guess. Download. I will share a better screen with you. Pictures. No, downloads. Third time lucky. Throw this on your screen and then I go and get some tissues. So this one is Luton. Don't want that one yet. So hopefully you can see something that looks like it's got lots of writing on it, and lots of squiggles, and lots of things.
Hold on. I sent loads. Which one am I meant to be looking at? Is this the first one you sent?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
So I guess my first question is, I'm sure you've heard of approaches. Can you name any types of approaches?
GFR, IFR.
Yep. And then in IFR, do you know any different types of?
You've got the ILS.
Yep.
You've got, I don't know what the name is, but like you just land the plane yourself using the instruments.
Yep.
That's about it. And yeah.
So, I tell you what I've done. I've sent stupid Martin. I've sent you the wrong thing. Sugar indeed. So yeah, you've got ILS. You've heard of that one, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you heard of different categories of ILS?
Manual. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not far off it. Sorry, technical issues. Right, here we go. Sorry. I spent I spent a little bit of time working out what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, but I didn't actually prepare how I was going to get how you're going to look at it. So I just sent you two more pictures.
Perfect.
I hate laptops. So he says, trying to quickly share the screen for the fourth time and the right thing. So this is Luton. How do you know it's Luton? Well, where on there does it tell us that is Luton?
London, UK, and then on the left it says EGGW/LTN.
Yep, and just underneath it says Luton, unlike this one, which is Cranfield.
It says Cranfield.
It says Cranfield, exactly. So we'll start with with the ILS. Okay, probably the one you've heard of before.
Yeah.
Any idea what ILS stands for?
Instrumental landing system.
Yes. So, how do we know this is the ILS? Because it says so at
says
the top.
ILS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's got some other letters up there as well.
It's got democratic member of, yeah.
So you've got everything that's listed here is what this approach requires, or what this approach can do.
Well, what can you do?
So here we've got, so it's a category 1, 2, and 3. So it involves an NDB, a non-directional beacon,
Mm-hmm.
an ILS, an instrument landing system, DME. Any idea? You know what that stands for?
No.
Distance measuring equipment.
Oh.
Which
Yeah.
runway is it good for?
It is good for runway 25.
Indeed, yeah. So runway 25 has a lot of stuff on it because it's the usual landing runway at Luton.
Yeah.
Okay. This very top part here with all the numbers and the letters and the blah, 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 it's called the briefing strip.
Yeah.
So in theory, everything inside this thick black box, you could just look at that and you should know most of what you need to do.
So what's in the blue box?
The blue box is a visual depiction of what you need to do.
You know what's in the second blue box? Oh, the black box.
So this is like a top-down view.
Yeah.
So Luton Airport is here with the runway.
Yeah.
And this is a side-on, so over here is the runway, and it's showing you the descent profile.
Right.
The last box
And then you have an STD.
tells you how low you can go before you need to do something.
STD.
STD. Oh, okay, state. Yeah. So, and this box is divided into two.
Yeah.
And so this line here is what's called the divide.
Yeah.
This is for it's called as it says here, straight in landing, meaning landing straight in.
Yep.
Whereas circle to land. Any ideas what that might mean? If you get this right, I will, I don't know, give you this bar of chocolate.
Does it mean that you need to circle to land the aircraft?
You're on the right way, but not close enough for the chocolate bar, unfortunately.
Sugar.
Nah. So it's a way to, if you do this approach, which is to runway 25,
Yeah.
it's a way that you can land on runway 07 using this.
Yeah. No. No.
Oh, no, it is. So you'd fly
Okay,
down
there is.
here, and then it allows you to then circle to the other runway.
So it allows you to circle to land.
Yeah, well, but on the runway going the other way,
Right.
which is a bit bizarre. At most airports, it's utterly useless, that box, but some airports it can be useful.
Is this useful to us?
Not at Luton, it's not very useful. But
Yeah.
so we'll start with the briefing box or briefing strip, as they call it. Any idea what is an ATIS?
Air traffic information simulated.
Cranfield has one.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's like it's the robot voice that tells you everything you need to know, but I don't know what it stands for.
Okay, so it's Airport Terminal Information Service. Yeah.
Oh, I was close.
So
I think.
this is what will be the first thing you get before you start an approach at any airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, you also might notice what order they're in. So next is Luton approach or Luton radar. So they're who you talk to get yourself onto this ILS. Then you've got Luton Tower. You actually got two frequencies, but this is the main one. How I know that is because the secondary one says by ATC, meaning only air traffic, only ATC will tell you to go there if something strange is happening.
Right.
And then you've got ground.
Why has it got an asterisk?
So asterisk means it's not always used.
Okay.
It's like at Cranfield, sometimes they combine the approach and the tower frequency.
Yeah.
So at Luton, I know at night, they don't bother putting someone on the ground frequency, they just combine it with tower.
Okay. Yeah.
So someone will clear to land and then they'll tell you where to go.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Next, these are all your frequencies and or minima. What do you think a minima would mean on an ILS or any approach?
Has it got something to do with the minimum of something?
Yes. So it's the lowest altitude you can go without seeing the runway or the lights.
That's quite helpful, isn't it?
Well, so most landings are done manually,
Yeah.
meaning that you could fly a Cat 1 ILS, which is the most basic one, which is what Cranfield has as well,
Yeah.
or had as well. You could fly down to 780 feet
Yep.
because of this number here. And then in brackets, this is how high you are above the ground.
Yep.
So you're 200 feet above the ground.
Yep.
So you could be flying without being able to see anything down to 200 feet above the ground before you had to do something,
Yeah.
which is slightly scary, but
A little bit.
a little bit, yeah. And below that, you've got some more numbers.
More numbers.
More numbers. So this is the minimum visibility that you need to start the approach.
Yeah.
So this is saying that you need a runway visual range, meaning how far you can see down the runway of at least 550 meters.
What if you just don't meet those expectations? Can you just not land?
So you can, if the air traffic control say that the clouds are 1 feet above the runway, well, they wouldn't say that. If they said they're 100 feet above the runway, you can still do the approach. But if you don't have 550 meters visibility, you cannot start this approach.
So how are you going to land?
You have to go somewhere else.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, which is, no one wants to do that. Passengers don't want to do that. Pilots don't want to do that. Companies definitely don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
No, it all gets quite busy quite quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these other two, well, the three, sorry, Cat 2 ILS,
Yeah.
Cat 3 ILS A and Cat 3 ILS B.
Yeah.
Which one of these can you land in the worst weather?
Cat 3B ILS.
Yeah. So a Cat 1 ILS you can fly by hand if you wish. Cat 2 and Cat 3, anything Cat 3, you have to fly it with the autopilot, which if your aircraft doesn't have an autopilot, then you can't fly Cat 2 or 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So, right. As you can see here, Cat 2 ILS, the minimum is 608 feet, which is 100 feet lower than the Cat 1.
Yeah.
No. What do you need to do if you can't see the ground at 708 feet?
I bought auto traffic control, and
Yeah.
they might change you to saying something.
So they have to abort, go around, and this is what you need to do. So you have the textual description here, and you've got a graphical description here. So read this one first. It's climb to 3,000 feet, straight ahead to 2.3 D, which is 2.3 miles, or distance 2.3, from ILJ, which is the airport, or 1,500 feet, which is a later, then turn left onto a tracker 088, climb 3,000 feet.
Right.
So it's basically telling you how to get away from the ground safely.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think you have to do next if you can't land because you can't see the ground? So you've gone around.
Abort again. Or tell air traffic.
Yeah, and then, well, we spoke about it very briefly, but what are your options?
I don't know.
No, I think you do. Let's say you can't land at Cranfield.
Huh?
Let's say you're flying VFR and Cranfield closes, and you're all by yourself. What are you going to do?
Just land.
Yeah, but if the airport's shut, let's say the runway's blocked.
It's a bit dumb, but go to a different airport.
Yep. And how are you going to get to that different airport?
Fly there.
Yeah, fly there. Are you going to tell air traffic where you're going?
Well, it's shut.
Oh, no, so the people on the tower are still there. Just, I don't know, let's say that a car's broken down on the runway, or I don't know, someone's got a flat tire on the runway.
Tell air traffic control.
Yep, so you're going to tell them where you're going to go. Let's say in this example that you go to Cranfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cranfield no longer has an ILS.
Why not?
Because it costs too much money for them to keep it running.
I don't know.
But what they do have is half an ILS.
Half an ILS. I'm
Yes,
sure it's very
so
helpful.
an ILS has two parts. It tells you left and right and up and down.
Yeah.
So you basically fly across all the way down to the ground.
Yeah.
This system doesn't have the vertical part, but it does have the lateral part.
Right.
So you'll fly down this beam and you'll be using the distance versus your altitude to descend.
Yeah.
So it's mostly the same, but at 6 miles, how high should you be if you're flying this approach?
What, the minimum? No, 2,500 feet. 2,310 feet.
Yep, that's the aim. But if you can fly within 10 feet, you're a much better person than I am. How about if you're at 5 miles?
1990.
Yeah, and I won't ask you all of them, but how about 2 miles?
1040.
Yep, good. So you're comparing your distance versus your altitude, and that's what's helping you come down through the clouds.
Yeah.
So Cranfield has a slightly more complicated vertical profile. So how can I make this easier for you? So at Cranfield there is no radar. So unlike at Luton, there's no there's not someone to talk you around. It's just go here, go there, do this, do that. So at Cranfield, all of the approaches start from this point here.
Yeah.
On the radio, you might have heard Charlie India Tango mentioned a few times.
Well, I haven't been there for a while, so I couldn't
Oh
tell
no,
you.
but in the past, you may have heard report Charlie India Tango, report Charlie India Tango inbound, outbound, whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Charlie India Tango is this point here. From nav, when we spoke about that ages ago, do you remember what this symbol means?
Well, that's the multi-directional thing, isn't it?
Yep, but do you remember what it's called?
Um, hold on, hold on,
I'll
hold
give you
on.
a clue.
It's a directional something,
It's
something.
somewhere on the top of the chart.
Non-directional beacon.
A non-directional beacon, yeah. So the non-directional beacon, the NDB, is the Charlie India Tango, the CIT.
Yeah. Yeah.
From there, you've got three options. So depending on what type of aircraft you are, if you're a big one, you're Cat D, which you can't do here. But if you're a small one, you're Cat A.
Right.
Is it on this? Yeah. So max airspeed for a Category A aircraft is 100 knots.
Yep.
It says so here. Got A, and it goes all the way across. B is 135 and C is 180.
Yeah.
So if you're flying this in a PA-28, which category do you think you'd be in?
Category. Well, not D.
Definitely not D, because yeah, D would be like 747s and 777s and big aeroplanes.
I'm gonna go with. I feel like we can go above 100 knots.
It can go above 100 knots, but do we stall if we fly less than 100 knots?
No.
No. So no, we can fly less than 100 knots, so we would.
So is it A?
Yep, so we're category A. Meaning, I'm going to go back up here. Category A. So here are three different tracks. What track would we need to take?
Um. Uh, One. Not sure.
You just told me that we're a category A aircraft.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 17 degrees.
Yeah. So we'd fly Charlie India Tango outbound set on 017 degrees.
Yep.
D 8.6. Any ideas what that is? Do you know what D stood for?
Nope.
Almost did the answer there. Do you know what D stands for? In IFR?
Direction.
Nope.
Distance.
Distance, yeah. And I'll give you bonus points if you can tell me what ICR is. There is, well, India Charlie Romeo. There is somewhere on the plate right now, it does say ICR and it tells you what it is.
Hang on a sec. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where in this image? Like
Yeah, in the image you've got on your screen right now.
ICR. I see. Hold on. Somewhere here. Yeah, I might be blind or something. I don't know.
Just over here.
That doesn't tell me what it is.
It tells you it's part of it's a lock, which we haven't spoken about yet, but also DME.
Right. So is that what an ICR is?
So it's a distance measuring equipment.
Right.
So it's telling you that you're 8.6 miles away from ICR. ICR, in this case, is at the airport, but it doesn't matter where. It's just telling you where it's measuring from.
Right.
Once we get to 8.6, what do you think we do next?
Turn
Yeah, which way?
right.
Yeah, we turn right. And then we intercept the localizer. So the localizer is the left to right part of an ILS.
Yeah.
Okay. The glide path is the up-down part, but the localizer is just left and right.
Yeah.
So we're going to intercept the localizer, and that's now telling us to go left, which way to go left and right. Sorry. At 6.6 miles, because we're now on the vertical part,
Yeah.
we're now going to start our descent.
Yeah.
I'll give you bonus marks or bonus points if you can work this one out. Somewhere on the screen, it says, if our ground speed is 100 knots, how quickly do we need to descend to stay on this track? So these
531 degrees.
degrees?
Or feet per minute.
Feet per minute. Yeah, good. So if you descended at 531 feet per minute, you would be perfectly on profile, as in you would not be too high, you would not be too low, the whole way down.
Yeah, right.
So you continue flying down, you go past 1 mile, you're still on profile, you're perfectly good. We get to 670 feet. What do we? And you can't see anything. What do you do next?
You go to
So you do a go around.
Oh, right.
What do you need to do if you need to go around?
Climb to 1,500 feet, then climb left, turn to 2,500 feet to join the holding, or as directed.
Good. Where is the holding?
The holding is that little inner circle.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a hold.
Mm-hmm.
Every pilot's nightmare, because this means you're literally flying around in circles.
For a long time.
It could be for a long time, yeah. No, there's usually... You have a quick look at flight radar. There's usually someone holding somewhere. Do. That's where I am now. We want Heathrow. No, of course, there's no one's holding. Of course, it's always the way.
Yeah.
When you want someone to hold. Oh, here we are. Someone began to hold here. Started to hold. So this BA plane started to hold here.
Yeah.
And then was told, no, you can come and join the party at Heathrow.
Great.
No. It's every pilot's worst nightmare. They especially Ryanair, because they keep running out of fuel.
Yeah.
Because they don't take any extra fuel. Can't seem to find any. No one's been doing any holding. This is very upsetting. Nope. Right, let me back to it.
Yeah.
So Cranfield has what's called a standard hold, meaning that standard hold has right turns,
Yeah.
and each part of it takes 1 minute.
Yeah.
Right? So when you overhead the beacon, you start your right turn, and you turn for 1 minute. You
Yeah.
then fly 031 this way for how long?
1 minute.
1 minute, yep. You then turn again, which would take a minute.
Yeah.
Then how long should it take from when your wings are level to get back to the beacon?
1 minute.
1 minute, yeah. So that holding is always 1 minute. So next time you go to Poland or next time you go on holiday or wherever, if you're turning every minute or every other minute, that means you're in a hold.
Yep-ho.
You're just flying around in circles waiting for your time to shine.
Does it have to be a minute?
You can get a minute and a half, 1.5 minute holds, but there aren't very many of them.
Right.
1 minute is standard throughout the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far we've spoken about NDB, localized the DME. I've got any others? Any idea what RNP might stand for? I'll be mightily impressed because not even many pilots, professional full-time pilots, know what this means.
Royal National Party.
Yeah, no, not quite. Required navigational performance.
Wasn't that easy?
No, meaning it's a GPS approach, which that would be the easier way to look at it.
Yeah.
Meaning it just uses the GPS which is installed in the aircraft. You can't use a GPS on your iPad. You can't use a GPS on your phone. Has to be installed in the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll notice these symbols are a little bit different. They look like little stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you also might notice that there's no mention of DME.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because DME and GPS will usually tell you different distances.
Yeah.
And why? Because DME measures the slant range. GPS is the range across the ground.
Right.
Cool. So, some more things you might hear on the radio or have heard on the radio at Cranfield is something like clear direct Adson.
Yeah.
Adson is the name of this waypoint here. What's the name of this waypoint?
Batis.
Yeah, or Bapis. And this one?
Beverly.
Blue. Yep. Good. So, why do you reckon there's these 3 points here?
3 different approach directions.
Yep. So if you're coming from this direction, you can go via Bapis. If you're coming from this direction, you can go via Adson. You come by this direction, you can go via Bevlu.
Beverly.
Yeah. You also might notice that all of these 3 waypoints, Adson, Bapis, and Bevlu, just above them, it has 3 letters. All three of them.
Instrument air flying.
Initial approach fix.
I'll get it one day.
Yep. So initial approach fix meaning you have to start the approach from here.
Yeah.
You can't start anywhere else. You can't start from here. You can't start from here. You have to start from here, or here, or here. You'll also notice next to it, there's a teeny tiny Adson, a teeny tiny Bapis, and a teeny tiny Bevlu.
Yeah.
Any idea what these little teeny tiny things are showing?
Children.
Well, the children of Adson.
Yes. Why else would they have teeny tiny versions of themselves?
Maybe to show you how low you're allowed to go.
Oh yeah, that could be it as well.
All that, yeah. So,
You could, yeah. Hold on.
oh,
Alexa, light on. There you go. That's better.
good old Alexa.
Okay. Yeah, the sun was getting in my eyes and it's really annoying.
I guess it won't work if I say Alexa lights off because I'm just in your ears.
Yeah, if you weren't in my ears, then she would turn off.
Yeah.
Happened before. It wasn't fun.
Or I could say, "Hey Siri," and then both of my Apple devices
Yeah.
start listening. Right. So these are teeny tiny versions of these initial approach fixes. You'll notice that in pointing towards Atten here is 141, but also pointing towards Bapis, little Bapis here is 141, and 281, also 281, 031, also 031.
Yeah.
So all these three combined make a whole circle.
360.
360, yeah. So if you're approaching Adson and your track to Adson is, let's say, 270,
Yeah.
it will mean, can I draw on the screen? Yes. So if you're heading this way to Adson, your track is 270. Let's do some fine art. It means that on the mini version, that's your track inbound.
Right.
So that means that your minimum safe altitude, as in if you go below this you might die, is 2,400 feet.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were heading south to Adson, if your track was south to Adson, so you'd be going down this way, are you protected by... are you protected by this here?
No.
No. So some clever person has worked out that if you're heading your track is south, it's quicker to go via Bapis than it is Adson.
Ooh.
Because you'll be in this little circle over here.
Oh, it's just a big circle. Right. Right. Okay.
Okay, so
But I knew what it was. It was just like imagining how it worked.
yeah, no. So if someone said to you, clear direct Adson, and then you look down at your magic GPS and it says your track is 180, it means something has gone horribly wrong and I need to be going direct to a different waypoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means you need to be going to Bapis. So these minimum safe altitudes, which the clues in the name, they are if you are below that altitude, you are considered not safe anymore.
No.
Yeah, if you're above it, you're considered safe. If you're below it, you're considered unsafe in the world of IFR.
Well, better be on the safe side.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, how far out? How many miles from Adson do you think this MSA, this minimum safe altitude, covers you for?
2,400 feet. 2,500 feet. 250 feet.
Do you measure it distance in feet or something else?
Oh, yeah. 2,500 meters. 250 meters.
How far is this?
5 meters.
So there's 5 meters between Adson I don't know how many meters between these two.
5 kilometers.
What do we measure things in aviation?
Nautical miles.
Nautical miles, yeah. So yeah, it's 5 nautical
Don't
miles
butcher
from
it.
Adson to TC21 India.
Yeah.
Any idea what this 25 might stand for then?
25 nautical miles.
25 nautical miles, yep.
Would not have guessed.
So if you're within 25 miles of Adson
Yeah.
and your track is between 141 and 031,
Yeah.
then if you're above 2,400 feet, you're safe. You will not bump into anything.
Could be a bird.
Could be a bird, but they don't know where the birds are going to be when they publish this. They generally know where the ground will be.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Good. But then up here you have another one.
Yeah.
So this Cranfield actually has made a mistake. So this would be a trick
is
question.
it? That's
So-
despicable.
This should not exist because they have it here and here and here.
Right. And then should they not have two? Is that a bad thing?
They should either have these little ones over here, like the mini versions, or they should have this. They should not have both.
How dare they?
So Cranfield, being Cranfield in their ultimate wisdom, has decided that they're going to have both.
Should report them to the CAA.
It should be more fun. Good. Right, so we've flown Adson to TC21 India, and then we've flown
Yeah.
3.4 miles to this one. If you have a look down the vertical part, which
Yeah.
waypoint do we start our descent?
Sorry, someone rang on my doorbell. I completely lost that.
If you want to sort that out, I will go and get some water.
Yeah, that's fine.
Deal.
Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. It was just the neighbours talking about some sort of parking or something on the road.
So
I'll
it's
come back when my mum's home.
fun.
Very.
What was the question? Oh yeah. So I missed one thing before. I go back to the question I did. So it says initial approach fix, then it says adds, and then it says 2,500 feet, meaning
Yep.
be here at 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
Which means you'll fly the next one at 2,500 feet because it says Tango Charlie India, so Tango Charlie 1, no, Tango Charlie 2-1 India, 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
And then when you're on the thicker black line, this one that points towards the airport and the runway, is when your altitude is managed by the vertical profile.
Right.
All right, so Tango Charlie 1, the 2-1 India is here and also here. Tango Charlie 2-1 Foxtrot is here and also here. Runway 21 is here and is also here.
Indeed.
When do you start your descent? Which waypoint do you start your descent?
PC21F.
Perfect. Good. And this approach plate is displayed a little bit differently. So if you the light just turned on. That was fun. That's strange. Yeah. So your altitude is displayed differently here. So if you are at say 5 miles from runway 21, how high should you be? Because last one was displayed here, but they've.
How far away?
You're 5 miles.
2,000 feet.
Perfect. Good. So yeah, there's two ways for them to display altitudes. One is this box, and the other one is a little strip that goes across the bottom.
Yeah.
If you're 100 knots over the ground, how fast do they want you to descend?
100 knots. Wait, what?
If your ground speed is if your ground speed's 100 knots, what should your descent be in feet per minute?
531 feet per minute.
Yeah, let's say you're really going for it. If your ground speed's 160 knots, what would be your descent?
849 feet per minute.
Good. How low can you go before you have to be able to see the runway before you don't?
800 feet.
You sure?
No. 690. 690.
Yep, 690. Good. So you get down to 690. Can you see the runway? What do you need to do?
Land on it.
Well, if you can't see the ground, you can't land.
Talk to ATC? Maybe? No. No idea.
It says up here. Yeah.
If you meant, right, yeah. So you go straight ahead to 1,500 feet, then climb left, turn to 2,500 feet, join the CIT, left control, holding.
Yep. Good. Anything strange on this one?
Hopefully not.
From memory, there was something strange on here. It's not strange, but any idea what all this means? Where it says
Hey.
and it says papi, and it's got some random dots.
Hey. Is it like how the pays work and how high you have to, like, the ideal climbing, the ideal height or something?
So this little box on the left where it says there we are,
Okay.
super zoomed in, where it says HIALS. So in English, this means high intensity approach landing system. Meaning it's talking about the lights.
Aero intensity, yeah.
And then, do you know what PAPI stands for?
Hold on, I'll get it.
You've also got a VALSI, if that helps.
P, approach, E, indicator.
The two words you said are correct.
Okay, and then the P's are...
One stands for precision.
Precision, approach.
Path.
Path, indicator.
Yeah, so it's those red and white lights on the left of the runway.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do I know that they're on the left of the runway?
Because it says it in the little image.
Because this little black box here
On the left.
is supposed to be the runway. Yep, so it's on the left-hand side of it. And I don't think we've flown at night, but I'm sure they've had the lights on. This is what the approach lights look like in dots.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one here is if you're the really silly part, if you're a really simple human, go straight ahead, climb 1,500 feet.
Yeah.
Is the missed approach. So that's for simple humans.
Yeah.
We look at another one.
Yeah.
There we are. So this is Luton. You see that the approach lights look different.
Complicated.
Pardon?
Very complicated puppies.
But you'll notice the puppy is on
the heels.
Yep. Yeah. But you'll notice that some things are the same. Like the format is the same. Like this is Cranfield, this is Luton.
Yeah.
Some things are very similar.
Some things are not.
Some things are not. Luton, the approach is across this way.
Yeah.
Whereas Cranfield, it's more down the page. Why do you reckon the angles are different?
Because different approaches.
Yeah, purely because the runway is a different way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all I can really think about on the approach. No, I have remembered. So you've got these little boxes everywhere.
Indeed.
Usually, if it's a little box, it means it's something that could be quite useful.
Yeah.
So aircraft may be requested to report crossing the 115 country. Just don't drown on here because there's nothing I can do to help you. I'm in Switzerland, so I can't even call help for you.
Yeah. No,
I could call 999, but I don't think the Swiss would help very much.
Yeah, they might take a few working days to get here.
It's probably a good hour and a bit flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a Swiss ambulance comes up outside my house.
Although it might get there quicker than some of the NHS ambulances, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
also, this is a very important box in the UK.
Box?
This box here.
It looks like a very important UK box.
You'll only ever find this box in the UK because we have a very strange way to do airspace compared to the rest of Europe.
Yeah, well, every big country has to have their own special methods of doing it.
Yeah. So the procedure is outside of controlled airspace.
So
which means
Oh,
in theory,
so when
yeah,
you join stuff, it's like, so when you do it, it's outside of the controlled airspace. When you
yeah.
join the,
So
it's
the whole
interesting.
thing is not in controlled airspace. So in theory, you could be flying this in the clouds, and you could have another aircraft who's not talking to Cranfield, who's legally allowed to be where they are, go right next to you, and in theory, you could crash, and it could be no one's fault.
Interesting.
Because if you're inside controlled airspace, it's the controller's problem to deal with it. If you're outside, it's yours.
But surely you could still get told off for like not having common sense or something.
You can, but legally, you don't need common sense to fly an airplane.
Oh. Well, legally, you don't need common sense to fly a rocket or anything.
No,
Common
or a
sense is,
car, or a train, or whatever.
yeah. So we have people with common senselessness flying our planes and driving our trains.
Yes, and it'd even be
A
scary.
poet, and I don't even know it.
Well, yeah, the number of people that I think probably shouldn't have pilot's licenses is unfortunately quite high.
What can you do?
Nothing. All I can do is if they have a test with me, is either not pass them, but if they do a test with someone else and they pass, there's nothing I can do.
Don't you like report them?
You can, but the CA won't do anything until 10 people have reported them.
Just use a bunch of fake IDs and just report them over and over.
Even then, even then, the CA take their sweet time about it. Right. A slightly random question. When are you doing your work experience at Cranfield?
That is a good question. It is. Yeah, I'm gonna say sometime like mid-June, early mid-June. No, it starts on the same day as my dad's birthday, so 8th of July. And then it lasts a week, so that would be until the 15th of July. 8th till the 15th.
Okay. 8th to the 15th. So you're even there on the weekend?
I'm not sure. All I know is, I think it just, I hope not. But
I
I
hope
don't
it's
think
just
so.
Monday to Friday because it's a bit tough otherwise.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it's Monday to Friday.
Okay. I have a secret mission for you, whilst you're there, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Um, oh, this is my favourite question. I keep asking all the professional pilots at work, or people who think they're professional. There's a little arrow here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's not a
I
very good
agree.
one. Let me find you a better one. It's also not a very good one. But this arrow is pointing at the highest obstacle on the approach plate.
Oh, I see. I see.
So if there are other obstacles, like if there was another little tower over here or over here or over there, right next to it tells you how high they are.
Yeah.
So this one is 982 feet.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little arrow next to it, it means this is the tallest thing around, or this is the tallest thing on this approach plate.
Yeah.
Okay. And as an instrument rating examiner, I hate it when people don't know what some symbols mean on here.
Yeah. Not good. So they're at risk of crashing into a radio station.
I guess so. That's why they tell you where they are, so you have less chance of hitting them.
But if you don't know what that symbol means, then
Well, true,
just
but
screw red.
If you don't know what the symbol means, but you can read, okay, this is 920 feet, then you should know that that thing is quite tall.
Maybe they don't know how to. Maybe they don't know what the feet symbol means.
Yeah, yeah. No.
But then they're a bit useless.
Far a bit useless, yeah. Well, in that case, slight change of subject. But what we can do now is you can assist me in this one, I think, in me doing my homework for tomorrow.
Lovely.
So, this is the flight that I'm doing tomorrow. Geneva to Newquay.
Where? Mickey?
Newquay.
Never heard of it.
It's all the way over here. So this is England. London is all the way over here.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, isn't it?
It is in the middle of nowhere, and I like going there because it's a huge airport, but I hate staying there because it's just so pants. There's literally nothing to do or see there. It's just at the pointy part of the UK.
Why is it just a big airport? Nothing there.
So it used to be a US Air Force training airport during the war,
Ah.
but what was that noise? Strange. But
It's
what
gone now.
they've kept the huge airport that's there, but they just don't have the US Air Force there anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It's just downloading. This thing takes forever. But in short, this is the route that I'm flying tomorrow. Take
Looks
off.
fun.
Yeah. Come on. Why are you not downloading?
Maybe it's a sign.
The flight's too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that's more than an hour is too long, and the flight here was 2 hours, and the flight back is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, this is what I'm doing. Get rid of all this gumph. We're going to have a quick look at some weather because that's quite important for IFR.
There's some nice weather recently.
Yeah,
At least here it
people
was.
get a few more. Over France, there were some pretty nasty thunderstorms today, which kept me awake.
Been 24 degrees today.
Balmy.
22 tomorrow. 24 again on Sunday. 27 on Monday.
27. I think I'm
27.
flying to Western on Monday.
Yeah. Then another 27 on Tuesday.
Too hot.
Then it's raining on Wednesday. So it's 25 degrees. Then 22 degrees without rain. Rain, 22 degrees. Then 19 degrees and 21 degrees. That gets
All
boring.
too hot. So, what's changed now? Geneva is about here. It might not be. I'm assuming you can see the same thing I can. Let me check. No, you cannot see it. You can now, though.
Oh, it was 30 degrees in Poland today. Sorry, yeah.
So Geneva is roughly where where my mouse is now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're going up here towards London and then turning left and going down to the pointy bit.
This map is very weird.
It is a bit weird.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
So you've got Italy down here. Let me draw some colours.
Oh, well, yeah, I see.
You see it?
What are the big swirly things?
The big swirly things are weather. So, what
When was
weather
it?
am I going to be flying through tomorrow?
There.
If I draw my route,
There.
draw shape. There, there.
I don't know if it will show on here, but my phone said there's a thunderstorm warning for Poland tomorrow. Maybe it'll show the thunderstorm going from France to Poland.
So Poland is what, about this box-ish?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the weather in Poland first. I prefer that.
Okay.
So Poland's in this box. It says you see we've got some wiggly, what look like snails and worms almost.
Yeah.
And somewhere there'll be a little arrow pointing towards each blob. Each blob is weather of some sort. So this long blob and this triangle blob have isolated embedded CBs. Any idea what CBs? Or do you remember what CBs are?
Cumulonimbus.
Exactly. They're death clouds, yeah. So there are thunderstorms going up to 37,000 feet, which are quite big.
Oh no.
Over Poland.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, and then you've got a little bit more over here, which is just inside the box, which is isolating embedded thunderstorms up to 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we're going to fly along the route, so Geneva is here, we fly through we fly through three things. And we colour in the first one, a different colour, of course.
Make it nice and colourful.
Best way. So in the red
Looks
blob,
like it's smiling.
so in the blob that's red, what weather can we expect?
Isolated embedded cumulonimbus at 24,000 feet.
Yeah, it's taken up to 24,000 feet.
And then triple X, whatever that means.
That means it goes lower. It means it goes all the way to the ground.
Okay, yeah.
So usually thunderstorms do go all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
So next we fly through this blobby area, this green bit.
Yeah.
What's happening in this green bit?
Um.
And then when you've done that, there's another blue bit.
18,000 feet triple X, 18,000 feet triple X.
Yeah, and then there's two little symbols next to it.
I remember seeing the top one. I remember the top one.
Yeah. What's the top one?
I remember the bottom one. Oh, I don't know what it's called. But I remember the symbol from somewhere.
So when you're flying along in the cruise, what do passengers not like?
Turbulence.
Turbulence, yeah. So the top one, the one that looks like a little pyramid, that means there's turbulence from the ground up to 18,000 feet.
Ooh, that's not good. That's not good.
Nope. And the other one is ice, which is what pilots don't like. The pilots don't care about turbulence, they just care about ice.
Yeah. Well, even that, some pilots probably don't care about ice.
Some pilots probably don't care about ice now because, as you remember, common sense and a lack of, yeah. They got this little blue bit, which is not in a squiggly line bit, but it's in a dashed line, which probably means that the answer is not. Probably not. The answer is in a different place to than what we've just been looking at.
It says 4.
It does say 4, but where is another number 4?
The left.
If you can find the other number 4.
To the left.
It is to the left, yep. But what is happening in the number 4?
There's turbulence from 36,000 feet to 24,000 feet.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be bumpy as we go past London. And then hopefully, as we get out the other side of London, as there's no squiggly boxes, there's no numbers of 400, but you can ignore that one. We don't need to know what that means. Um, Hopefully, the weather is nice and calm, nothing interesting, just boring, good blue sky weather.
Yeah, I prefer cloudy, nice sky weather than clear sky weather. It just makes the sky look boring and hot.
I I definitely prefer
Unless
flying
it's a
in blue
sunset.
skies. Yeah.
Sorry?
I definitely prefer flying in clear blue skies. Actually,
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll take a picture out the window now because there are some interesting clouds, and you tell me if they're death clouds or not.
What do my clouds look like? I just have normal flat clouds and a very bright sun. Ooh, I got a ding. Those are not death clouds.
No, they're just a little bit bumpy.
I've got some nice flat clouds outside my house. You won't get clouds. And a nice sunny weather today.
Where was I going with this? Did I have something? There we go.
Turbulence.
Yeah, it was almost turbulence. It was, what will the weather be tomorrow? Um,
I think I got sunburn on my face. I don't know, it's really red. How hot it was today.
it wasn't megally hot, was it? It was just a bit, sunny.
Well, it was quite sunny with no clouds, and I was outside basically the whole day. Well, I had exams today as well, so that was the only time I was inside. So I don't know, but my face is really red, so something happened. There was a warning.
Uh-oh. So, what's the weather doing right now at Newquay? Or Newquay, to give its proper name.
Well, 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
there were, oh God, I haven't read this. It was so the METAR was sent out on the 21st
Today,
at
yeah.
night,
Yep, the 21st is today,
yeah,
yep.
20, at 17:20 Zulu time. The
Yep.
wind was heading 210 knots, 210 degrees, speed 9 knots. Visibility was 7,000. There was a little bit of rain with
Yeah.
broken clouds at 300 feet.
Yeah.
1414, and the QNH no, that's not the QNH. The QFE maybe is 1011.
The QFE or the QNH?
Well, it seems a bit low to be a QNH.
Well, the pressure in the UK is quite low at the moment, so you've got some rain coming this evening.
A QNH then probably.
Yeah. So the pressure is quite low.
Oh, I just realised it said it all underneath.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Good. So does the TAF show me or tell us what the weather will be doing tomorrow?
No.
No. When does the TAF expire? When does the TAF go up till?
Until 21, 16, 59, 21, 9:18 till 10:03.
Yeah. Good. Right. See what time it is. Have I gone over? Have I gone under? Right. Good.
Where have we gone? Over or under?
What do you think?
how long was the meant to be?
An hour and a half.
I think like just slightly under, only by a few minutes.
Yeah, no, we are just under. But I
Or
literally cannot think of anything else I need to. Actually, no, we can check NOTAMs. I know that sounds really exciting.
yippee.
There we go. Does Geneva have any interesting NOTAMs?
Hmm?
Is there anything? There might be bad news.
Um, it's just notice to all airmen.
Yeah.
Notices.
Is there any? Does it say a runway is closed? Does it say? I don't know. There's no fuel.
Are you talking about in general or these specific ones?
These specific ones.
Okay. So there's a Iraq did Rocker revised. The SID star notes and relevant charts have been revised. So there's new charts. We know that much.
Yeah.
And there's several transit and depth routes that have been converted to RNAV routes. So that we know that now about the airport. Useless,
Yeah.
but now we know. Then we've got the runway 22. The Papi Mecht was at 1994 M. Whatever that
I'll
means.
be honest, I don't know what this means. I'd have to look that up.
Then we've got a crane marked LGTD.
Yeah, don't worry about
Huh?
cranes.
We've got a Postlos GPS. Signal runway 0422 FNA, climb out and go on ground. Then we've got an SRA Apache runway 04 and SRA Apache runway 22, which are suspended. And then we've got a reference AOC LSGG, which is a type A runway 22.
Luckily, I've managed to look at the others and they don't affect what we're doing. Nuki.
So the air start is not available for any type of aircraft. Do you want me to read all of that out? Or?
You can tell me what's happening to the instrument approach.
Instrument approach chart. Runway 12, Cat A increased. Oh, they increased the minimum height, I think.
Yeah. And how about the ILS at runway 12, and have they increased the ILS runway 30?
ILS on what?
The ILS at runway 12 and the ILS runway 30.
So 12 has been increased to 460. Cat B has been increased to 470. Cat C Oka has been increased to 481. Cat D Oka increased to 493. As for 03, did you mean 30 or 3?
At 30.
Okay. So at 30, we've got Cat C increased to 469. Cat D increased to 483. Instrument approach chart. Runway 30, total area. The total area for Cat A was increased to 1070. Yeah.
Yep. So I've just looked at my chart. I just looked at my iPad, and that doesn't. All of that for really not a lot because it doesn't affect anything. And
Yeah.
this NOTAM was there when I did my European examiner test.
Woody mass.
I asked my victim, what does it mean? And they said, I don't know. I asked the person who was examining me, what does it mean? And they said they don't know. So we agreed, whatever a woody mass is, it could be, I don't know, a lot of trees, a forest. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But no one knew what a woody mass was, so we decided to ignore it.
Was that a good or bad idea?
I don't know. Well, we survived, so I'm guessing it wasn't too important.
Google doesn't know either, so.
No. What is a woody mass?
It said a woody biomass is biomass derived from trees, but I don't. What does it mean to have a wood mass?
I would imagine if you keep Googling, you'll get some answers you don't want to read. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I think I went too far down.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're good. Well, in that case, we can probably call it a night because yeah, there's not really much more IFR I can do apart from actually in an aeroplane now.
yeah.
But, right. Well, hopefully the weather's good for you tomorrow.
Hopefully. But, well, yeah, probably.
Yeah. No, I
Hope you
should.
don't get very gusty winds on your way to, where was it? The
Nuki.
one sticky out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nuki.
But then we're just gonna. Well, then afterwards we fly VFR to London, which would be quite good fun.
Yeah. That's good.
So, means you get to have some fun. Right. So
Yep.
your secret mission, if you choose to accept.